Hi. So this is my first video in a while. And the reason I started a bunch of projects, but I never really finished them. So to start the new year off, we're gonna go back to my roots, or our roots. If you've been watching me for a while, you know my old OCs, Kat and Aaron. Well, for today's video, I'll be telling you about their love story. Okay, well, the main plot of it, at least, while we watch a speed paint of their new designs, right? And without further ado, let's start. Callista and or Kat used to be my persona, but due to my reboot, now she's just an OC that kind of looks like me. She's an archangel, and in the ranking system I made for heaven and my story surrounding them. Archangels are the highest ranked, only behind God himself. Themself. And God always has an assistant, and while he's off doing whatever, the assistant needs to take care of the planet. Kat is the niece of the assistant, and basically a nepo baby. Her aunt got her the job of being a gatekeeper, and that's how she met Aaron. Now, her whole life, she's never really been a big fan of humans. Due to past events regarding the first batch of archangels, current arcs are supposed to believe they are the furthest things from actual humans, despite the fact that they look exactly like them. Her mother is a human resources worker, so she saw firsthand the way humans act and treat each other. She kinda has a President Snow way of viewing humanity, but other than that, she basically just sees them as animals who act as if they're better than the rest, but the second they don't get what they want or need, they regress back to their animalistic tendencies. And she's always believed that humans were terrible out of choice, purely for fun, so she judged them very, very hard. And honestly, very unfair. So her partner, Aaron, had to even out the scale when humans died and came to them for judgment. And eventually, Aaron decided to take her down to Earth to learn about humanity in hopes that seeing what pushes humans to do what they do will change her view about them. And it works, as her view of humans do change. So did the way she saw Aaron. He went from filthy demon garbage that thinks his opinion is more important than her own, to Aaron. She fell hard but refused to show it. But even though their relationship started to get better, there was always problems that they eventually work out. So when talking about her design, other than her hair and her halos, I don't really have much to go off of. Her current design consists of pretty light colors, white, gold, and the only color that actually pops out in her design are probably her eyes and the little purple spots she has on her skirt. Over the series, her design most definitely will change. She'll go from a more muted and light color scheme to something a little different. I'm not going to show you guys that yet, but you know what? It will change. Rest assured, it will change. Her main design, like her clothes at least, were inspired by ancient Greek togas and stuff, mainly because I think they're really cute and they can be pimped out in such an adorable way. But I really, really had to simplify their designs because I plan on making this a comic, but the current designs they have way too detailed. Like, you can't keep it because I will simply forget how to draw it, what things to add. Genshin Impact is another one of my really, really big inspirations when it comes to character design, but sadly, I can't do all that. Like, it'll be there in their like stock images or whatever, but it won't be in the actual comic. But I'm pretty sure that is it for Callista, aka Kat. I hope you like this redesign. And one more thing. I know her hair looks like a super, super light purplish, but it's supposed to be white. I don't know why I needed that color. I don't know what I was thinking, but her hair is supposed to be white and not a light purple. That is it for Kat.
샛별
Aaron Apollyon. He is the 12th legitimate son of Lucifer, but I'll touch more on his demonic family in another video. In the world of mortality, there are many different planets, aka worlds, surrounding ours, with their own solar systems and people. His mother is from the fantasy parallel of Earth. On this world, dragons and humans were at war for each other for millennia, but a terrible plague spread throughout the human race, and as a mercy, dragons used their powers to fuse their blood and bodies with them. All the people who refused to become one of the dragon kind all died a slow, painful death due to the sickness, and those who managed to rebuild society because they fused with the dragons, they managed to rebuild society, and their children were called Dragonborns. Millions of years after that, Aaron was born to a woman who would have been half Romani and half Chinese if she were still human. And as all women who were seduced by Lucifer, she was convinced that he loved him. He didn't. During the first years of his life, he lived with his mother and her family. But when he became a teenager, his father appeared and wanted him back. When he got back, he met his older siblings. They weren't close, and despite his father bringing him from another world, they didn't form much of a bond. So he spent his time in the human world of the world his father was in, aka our world. Unlike his siblings, Aaron wasn't much use because Aaron wasn't much use to Hell in their society, but there was an opening to become a gatekeeper of heaven, so it was given to him. But he was given the worst partner ever. It was their job to judge human souls, but she didn't know the first thing when it came to them. Someone could have been R-worded and she'd damn them for the sin of lust, you know. He wants to know how somebody so uneducated about humanity got such an important job. But one day, he took her down to Earth with him. And ever since then, they became travel buddies. Any time period, anywhere. They would travel the globe together, learning about the complexity of humanity. During this time, they found the Garden of Eden, and that would eventually become their spot. After work, they would go down to the garden, they'd talk, dance, sing, play, and just be with each other for days on end, and eventually, they fell in love. That's Aaron's story. Now, if we talk about his design, originally he was supposed to have pale skin and straight black hair, but I made his mother being half Romani and half Chinese after I made the speed paint. So there are things to his design that I'm going to change, much like his skin and his hair. I want him to be more sun-kissed and have wavy black hair, much like his mother. And their designs will change a lot throughout the seasons, shows, chapters, whatever I'm going to call them, right? Sorry, I'm sick. That's why I'm sniffling so much, and that's why my voice sounds weird. But he goes from someone who wears mainly suits, formal attire, everywhere all the time, to more dark academia, more casual clothes, grunge even. Not really grunge, no, he wouldn't like that. Over time, Aaron would become less and less worried about how people perceived him, because ever since he came around to Hell, that was the main thing people thought of him. He was just some random guy that Lucifer created, basically. Oh my god. I'm going off script, so this sounds really, really weird. But Aaron not being fully demon, he did, face a lot of prejudice. Not demon, not being fully hellborn. He did faced a lot of prejudice against the natives of hell and the demons of hell. Oh God. And because he wasn't close to his family, that it was even harder for him. So he cared a lot about how people thought of him because he didn't really have anything else. So when they became travel buddies, him and Callista, he started to warm up more to the thought of just being himself. So eventually he trades in his suits for more comfortable clothes, and he stops caring so much about how people feel about him. And did I just kind of like just say what his character development would have been? Yes, I did. But honestly, I don't care because it is going to be a long ass while until this actually comes to be. And I have very, very high suspicions that this, not suspicions, predictions, that this will just fade away into history. This video, I mean. So nobody's gonna think much of it. And that is Aaron Apollyon. Thank you so much for watching. I apologize if my voice sounds weird. I am sick. It'll pass soon. Thank you so much for watching if you stayed. And I promise I will be putting out more content featuring the mortality story. And I really hope you liked the video. If you did, please tell me in the comments. Or just like the video, I really don't care. Just boost this as much as you can because my views are in hell. Literally. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. I know I said thank you 3 times, but thank you. Love you. Goodbye, my little ghosties.